Good morning and happy blessed Friday. I was thinking about something. So years ago, we used to work at this place, and I met a group of women. Some were some were older than me, and some were the same age. And I learned a lot from those women at that time. And if I think about it, back then I was in my early 20s and a mom and really still learning and discovering myself. And I hadn't done a lot of work because I hadn't arrived at that place in my life just yet. But there was this one particular younger woman. She was older than me, but younger. And we would hang out a lot together. We would, sneak out the office and smoke cigarettes together and shared a lot of personal experiences and information with each other, and it became like a sister, kind of big sister little sister friendship. And back then I don't think it was anything more than me looking up to her. So as time went on, I remember coming to work one morning. I would get to work around 7, between 7:30. And so I opened this email, and the title was personality infiltrators, or kind of along the lines of that, personality infiltrators, body snatchers, something. So she wasn't direct about what she was trying to convey. And so I read the email and I read it over again. And I just remember being hurt back then, right? Because I was clearly being accused of something. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand, because as a young person, the more you hang out with someone, you influence each other, right? And think about your group of friends or family members, and you share phrases and words and sayings. You come up with inside jokes. So that was what essentially happened in our connection. But it became clear to me that something went wrong, and she internalized it a lot differently than I would have, because anytime I ever heard her say something or reference something that I shared with her, I never took it like that. I've always been someone who gives and gives freely. And so I didn't see her as a personality infiltrator. I just thought we were getting closer. And so I was driving back from the store today, and I was thinking, wow, we have to be careful with our words, because we could hurt people, and we could essentially break down relationships and connection. And it made me think about, as a parent, you raise your kids and they pick up things from their parents, and they pick up things from their immediate family and people who are around in that circle. And we don't accuse them of being personality snatchers. And then I thought about it in terms of cooking and recipes, right? When you receive a recipe from someone, you don't ever get it exactly the same way. I think with cooking, what I learned is that in recipes is you make it your own. So when you give a recipe to someone, you don't call them a recipe snatcher. The hope is that they will get it as closely to yours as possible. And then if not, eventually again, they make it their own. So I was thinking about youth and just being really encouraging to them. And that's the importance of doing your work, so that you don't get triggered or internalize something you see that you don't necessarily know how to interpret. You watch, you sit back and you watch the people who you influence make something their own, and you encourage them, not discourage them. So just a thought. Thank you for listening. I love you. Happy Blessed Friday.